wants chat. He can stab whatever he wants.
And even if it was, I think you can very well stay out of it, as it only affects my own kidneys or liver or whatever the bloody hell that shite pollutes. Whatever aftermath that occurs because of your little chit-chat with the Negro affects the both of us, however.
Look, Luke. Nothing will happen.
What a fucking piece of shit
You
chat.
have to relax. It was just a friendly chat.
What
Well,
a piece of
now
shit.
I think I'm getting jealous. Or I would be if it weren't for this damn headache.
Maybe you should drink more.
6955, welcome.
Maybe.
Supper spent in silence with nothing but the occasional sound of silverware. A grand feast has been served, well, grander than usual anyway. Most likely due to Luke's complaints of stress. Yeah, let's go, girl ghost. Do your thing. Fuck him up. Okay, that looks delicious. On a complete and total side note, while I kind of hope he dies, that looks fucking yummy. A platter of native oysters for starters, the tranche of turbot with purple sprouting broccoli, lemon, capers, and anchovy sauce for mains. To finish it all off, some black tea and golden syrup sponge pudding with some custard. But when our appetites are appeased and the plates are cleared away, Luke stands, kisses me goodnight, leaves me to stare at my half-empty cup. Lonely in the middle of night, I sit in a house too big and too empty, foreign and unwelcoming. Even with its warm tone and homely decor, it feels cold. There's no need for tears, however. I know I can get through this, like every other obstacle I've faced before. This is a minor setback. This is a big setback. Fuck this dude. What I hope will be a long and happy life. I hope not. I hope you guys get divorced. Fuck this guy. To remind myself that this is a place for Luke and our future children warms me with renewed vigor. When it looks like something is about... Besides, it looks like someone is having a cry already. The wailing is far and muffled. What? Yet at the same time, it shakes me to my very core as I hear it. Yeah, because it's like, who else is there? Who else is there, Hannah? As if the suffering is just standing right beside me. Hearing it sends a chill down my spine. It makes my skin prickle with goosebumps. Who is that? Just gonna overwrite this. Curiosity sinks in as I follow the sorrowful sound of the kitchen and into the wine cellar hatch.
Hello? Is anybody down there?
I'm curious and concerned, but there is no way I'm going down into a dark and humid underground. Where are we now? Are we still the 26th? We are. I'm not as enthusiastic as Luke, who considers himself quite the connoisseur. However, I cannot bring myself to go to bed with this racket going on. If it is one of the household help, they will surely need some talking. After all, this would be the first time I've gone and found one of the maids This wouldn't be the first time I've gone and found one of the maids sobbing their eyes out over one thing or another. As professionals our staff are, they are still human. More often than not, it was either Johannes or I who'd calm them down, who'd help to figure out how to go on things. Unfortunately, I'm not in high spirits right now, so I'm not wholly benevolent. So I will... Nah, fuck it, we're going in. I may not be going down, but there's no point in talking through closed doors. Or hatches, in this case. The thing refuses to budge at first until there's a soft click and it swings freely. I lift up the hatch and look down the cellar. A sense of uneasiness washes over me. It isn't just the sudden onset of vertigo and nausea, but also the darkness. It's suffocating. And as I look down, it feels as if it's looking back at me. I worry that something will suddenly pull me into the deep. I can hear her whispering. Shut it! Shut it! This is a mistake! Calling for me! She wants me! Needs me! She wants to drown me, pull me down and suffocate me in her embrace until I sink to the bottom. A deep abyss waits, inviting yet foreboding. She's calling to me from in there, isn't she? And I do want to help, I do, but the shadows threaten to creep out and I have a feeling of apprehension that keeps me in my place. Already it paints the room in a darker light. There's a lurching sensation, and the feeling that follows after is hard to explain. It feels like I'm watching myself from the sidelines, a spectator to my actions, or lack thereof. I will myself to snap out of this detached feeling, to move, to do anything except to stare at myself. And for a moment I see my own fear in my face. I'm back in my body, but the hook in my stomach is no longer the only one. There are hooks everywhere, tearing and pulling at my skin, flesh and bones. They pull me in every direction, and it hurts. It hurts so much, but I can't bring myself to scream out. Oh, this is not good. Razor Snob, how you doing, bud? Why am I playing typing with the dead, chat? Zow! I wake from a deep slumber. It takes a while with the fog that has settled in my head and my heavy limbs. But soon enough, I manage to look around. It's a good graphics card. I mean, if you're going to play a game, why not play it on the best? You know what I mean? In our bedroom already, although I do not recall going here. Luke slumbers beside me, looking peaceful and angelic. It doesn't matter. Yep. No, but just for Fortnite, nothing else. Yeah, if Fortnite's the only game they play, guys. If that's what they enjoy, good on them. Do what you enjoy, and there's no reason for it not to be, like, you know, fun look. Like, it's an expensive thing for just Fortnite when you could play it on, like, literally anything. But cool for them, especially if they ever end up moving on. They're set for a while. The 2080 Ti is a great card. I'm safe and I feel better than ever. That's what I got in my slaps desktop, baby. Tomorrow, better days will come. And I'm playing a visual novel right now. Luke is already gone by the time I rise. There isn't a single hide nor hair of him to be found. Trying to call on him on his mobile is a bust. He's only goes straight to his voicemail. That's twice in a row he's gone on me. And for him to disappear today, of all days, is every bit unsettling because of what's to come. Dude, she's got to stop saying that, like, we're screwed, because obviously we are, but, like, the morning is once again filled with a whirlwind of activity. Fortunately, I am much more refreshed as I took a break from my responsibilities. I haven't the faintest clue where Luke was yesterday. Today's going to be a busy day, though unlike Wednesday, the master of the house isn't here right now, absent once again from his duties. Hopefully he'll be back in time for the party. This is our house, after all, a grand housewarming party for the wonderful Wright Mansion. Every person of importance from Luxburn is invited, and there will be a few guests flying in as well. Of course, there will be some people from the media along with friends and acquaintances who are made no less important regarding their status in society. Marianne and I discuss business and last-minute touches to the house before finalizing everything. Not that there is much to change from our original plans. Bar any huge addition to the property itself, the mansion is nearly 100% complete.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
Well, I can't take all of the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the Wright mansion. There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
Luke and I had a small tiff about making the second bedroom into a child's playroom, which I insisted completely practical. In the end, he had to acquiesce to it, and I didn't give a choice in the matter. I even bought this wonderful wooden crib from the antique store yesterday, including some toys. Just in case anyone brings their baby, of course. Besides, we have little need for actual guest rooms. We hardly have any guests who spend the night. If we absolutely have to, we choose to foot the bill for their visit on one of the hotels instead, always at Luke's own insistence. And on the off chance that we actually let someone stay, the bedroom in the opposite wing is still up to the task.
Oh, no. We proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
No, I did not agree to him having a helipad.
All right, then. Well,
That was the real question, yeah.
Anything we need to put on our agenda before the party commences?
No, I don't think so. Not unless Luke has anything else to say.
Is he around then? It'd be best if we can note down his requests right away, considering the scope of his usual ones.
Around? No. Where is he? Who knows where? I don't.
No, he's not around.
She didn't have to point out the obvious now, did she? After several long years, I'd already gotten used to him. I should be by now. Still not, apparently.
Don't you have a party?
I want nothing more than complain to whine about how unfair this is. However, airing out one's dirty laundry is simply taboo among high society. To do so will make you a ripe target for the next dinner party chit-chat. Vultures, the lot of them really, or most of them at least. There's always good ones like Rochelle E. But put your trust in the wrong person, you'll find yourself eagerly picked apart.
Yes, but Luke's just being a sweetie, you see. That friend he's visiting, he's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
Perhaps I'm being a bit too rash, a bit too hot-headed in divulging details. But I thought myself clever with the plan to dress it up as gossip. Marianne's raised brow makes me unsure whether she's interested or not. Although, that does make things better. She has no interest and, therefore, no hidden intent to utilize whatever I might say to her.
They've been married for a long time, and they've had
having a good
a...
excuse to drink.
How
Lol.
do they say it? A rough patch. His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband, but it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark. What do you think?
What do I think of the matter, ma'am?
No, what do you think of my hair? It feels so lifeless and dull today, and that's no good for a party. And I think I'm breaking out into zits.
Now that you mention it, there is something different.
There better not be something on my face.
I wouldn't worry about that. You do look a little paler than usual, ma'am.
There's a
I
ghost!
apologize if I'm crossing any lines here, but have you been resting properly?
Huh. You'd think I get a bit tanned with how sunny it's been lately. Don't you worry. I feel right as rain and never better. But back to the matter at hand.
You were asking for my personal opinion on the matter, ma'am? Do you want me to be honest, or...
Be honest!
Be honest with me, Marianne. I don't need someone to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
I'm not some fragile thing that I'm just going to break down at the slightest thing.
She hesitates, taking a sip of her coffee, while I stare into my own cup of tea. The silence stretches on, and I almost believe that she will never answer my question. Suppose that I shouldn't blame her, putting her on a tight spot like this. Her hesitation is understandable. I'll admit it, she wants this whole thing to stay professional. But then she speaks.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
It's my turn to hesitate now. I really didn't expect such a straightforward question. And to get to the heart of the matter, I suppose I'm not as clever as I'd like to think. Or is it really just that bad an outsider can see our marital troubles? Surely we aren't that obvious, are we? We put up the act of a perfect couple for years, although it hasn't always been an act. Marianne is just more keen than the average person, of course. It is a necessity to her career, and she's been working so closely with us. Yeah, that's it.
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Then, I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle. But, if the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else. Someone who won't even give him the time of the day. Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself. Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone. That's just my 2 pence worth, of course.
So you're saying they should divorce?
Nothing as drastic as that. If they're afraid that it might lead to just that, then maybe that is what's meant to happen in the first place. We shouldn't let our fear control our lives, but it's just a short hiatus is all. Or, couples therapy? Look, I'm really not the best person to ask about relationships. So grain of salt and all that.
She trails off, having said her piece, and leaves nothing but the smell of coffee and Earl Grey between us. Ooh, Earl Grey tea sounds amazing right now. Amazing. There's a calm despite the nature of what has just been discussed. To say that her words make me start to think is an understatement. To say that I'm not considering her advice is a lie. And to say that this might just be the calm before the storm is a possibility. Others have had shorter marriages, yes, but plenty have celebrated long and happy ones as well. My own parents celebrated their quarrel anniversary before they passed away, but 7 years? 7 years isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. It isn't a whole lot to see what and where our relationship can bring us. And at the same time, 7 years, well, it hasn't entirely been made up of unhappy years, has it? They won't last forever. I'm not supposed to, anyway. I just dread the thought of that it might be lasting for a very long time. I dread that these small spats, these little disagreements, will turn into all-out resentment. The idea that we'll grow to hate each other with every fiber of our being scares me. I can't even pinpoint the exact moment our blissful union turned sour. Probably when your husband was a racist fuck. I mean, we can get through this, right? I know that I still do love him, and I feel that there's a part of him that loves me in return. We just need to get our heads together and talk it out. Surely. Marianne coughs. Must have been quiet for so long, and I move to apologize when she stands up. We both end up on our feet, unsure on how to proceed. Some sort of odd, awkward shuffle. Okay.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party. Oh, you really must, Marianne.
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies. Busy, busy, busy.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you. You need to say hello to the Lees, at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive. Because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
The seance at the parlor is a great unorganized mess. 28th. So it's been a full day since the conversation. Aside from our own household help, we hired the service of the temp agency which provides staff for Wright Enterprise in the hospitality sector. Even our very skilled staff cannot undertake a party this size on their own. Waiters, busboys, hostesses, and their staff captains move on in droves. Cool. Chefs and bartenders tail after Johannes, looking like scared little children as he escorts them to the kitchen into the wine cellar. To peruse the stocks to select what can be served at the party and what can be used for cooking.
Schnell! We have a lot to do, and I believe we did not hire snails. Snails are for the dishes.
A string quartet readies up to play for the evening, tuning their instruments as they fill the air with idle chatter. Floor decor worth thousands fill vases, wreaths, and baskets, while petals are scattered along the driveway up front. An ice sculpture of a reindeer is brought in carefully by a pair. It is followed by a simple cake, just a 5-tier white chiffon with white chocolate mousse, fresh berries, and a light dusting of edible gold leaf. But despite the fact that I just told Marianne I will attend to all this, I find myself unable to focus or care about any of it. Silver discussion running through my mind. These are grand things Luke wanted. I wanted to have a small, elegant, and simple gathering with only a select few invited, namely the people who I actually trust to enter my home. Did not want any bloody politicians or paparazzi in here, no matter how used I am to catering
At
them.
least be here for your party. Damn it, Luke.
What up, Saker? The entire thing screamed Luke Wright. And I can't help but add, another question to my growing list of queries. When did I lose myself? It's always about him nowadays, isn't it? What about Hannah Wright? What about Hannah Evans? I used to be my own woman who made her own name, her own career, and her own decisions. Surely I was already the social butterfly that I am today, but it wasn't all empty shallow gossip and sitting pretty. I was also allotted for my knowledge and talent. Finance manager wasn't just handed to me because my father owned the company. I insisted that I start at the bottom so I could work my way to the top and prove myself. And I did. I worked numbers, managed budgets, money accounts, analyzing the competition and market trends. There was always a calculation of financial risk, cost reduction opportunities, auditor liaison, and public relations, supervision of staff, and well, I generally had a huge slew of responsibilities. Admittedly, I was already quite the attention seeker even back then, having dedicated most of my youth craving for my parents' approval. Failing that, I turned to others, looking for praise from anyone who'd give it to me, however fleeting it was. Luke, oh Luke, the way he looked at me, the way he watched me and took genuine interest. He had me disgustingly obsessed since day one, hasn't he? He saw me for Hannah Evans, both with my faults and my achievements. The man didn't treat me like some damsel in distress, or some prize to be won. I remember the nights when we were married, we talked about, oh my god, okay, I got it. You have a marriage. For big things like business, society, philosophy, to little things like what we had for breakfast, or whether we like cats or dogs more. We both prefer dogs. Nowadays, I'm just Luke Wright's wife. It's mostly my fault, isn't it? They told me that husbands preferred wives who are docile and subordinate, a woman who will always be there for him, yet never outshine him in all aspects except beauty. A wife needs to be at home and attend his needs. Good God. No. Do you, girl. They said I had no business working anymore. After I was married, I could blame society. No, you can't. Before I can fall further into introspective pit of self-loathing, someone calls for my
The
attention.
guests have arrived, madam.
And Luke?
Running a bit late, I'm afraid.
Late for his own party. That man, I swear. He's probably looking to make a dramatic entrance, knowing him.
I believe it.
Open the doors, then. We mustn't tarry.
Cars light up the driveway, peppering the front of the mansion with vehicles of every kind. Grand tours, supercars, even the odd-end muscle car, too. Convertibles, grand saloons, and other luxury cars can be seen being parked by valets. A handful of cabs drive off, possibly for those who thought it's too troublesome to bring their own cars. There are at least 2 different media vans as well. They're all here for what may be considered the biggest event of the year for Luxburn so far. Who knows what we'll plan for the winter holidays?
Welcome, everyone. Please, make yourselves at home.
Some of the guests idle. Cool. They greet acquaintances and friends with warm smiles, others less so. Spicy cheese, welcome, welcome. From where I stand, I can see the hierarchy of power that bind individuals from here whether they're through convenience or necessity. Words. However, there are a few who are not here to further cement their current place in high society. Such as a young man with his oriental air, ignorant of the looks he receives from women and men alike. Oh, it's Ash.
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Or that rose-haired woman talking on her phone while she looks so unsure of why she's here exactly.
Yes, I'm at the party already, Mom. Yes, I'll say hi to her if I can.
I see Zachary, the photographer, as well. He talks to a few of the other media crew with a friendly air of familiarity.
I was just here a few days ago, yeah. And the inside is huge, but the staff are pretty helpful if you get lost.
I invited Father Norman, too. It's the least I can do is you blessed the mansion on my request, aside from my small donation to church, of course. So she did have it exercised! But the poor man had taken ill and went through a nervous breakdown of some sort the other day? Ah! So it wasn't exercised! Oh no! Oh no, chat! And then there are people like the Chief Inspector. People who I can never be too sure about. People who stand on the border between the suspicious and being
Thank
trustworthy.
you for the invite, Anna. Husband still missing, I see.
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee. The doctors again.
She told me she'll just be in the gardens. Bet she's lying and that she's somewhere around mingling, gossiping with the other ladies. It's no offense, but that seems to be all you ladies do at these parties.
And aren't you gossiping right now?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you doing? Hold
Yes,
on.
well,
Mr.
what's
Nerdflex,
that,
welcome.
Luke? Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
Oh my
He's
god.
around.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing.
What up, Kenny? Welcome.
Don't tell me, let me guess. He's finally drunken himself to death and not wanting a scandal, you've hidden his body. I was wanting to give this housewarming gift to him personally, too. It's a plate that holds a wine glass so he can stop killing
Top tier,
himself
dude.
with liquid lunches. Looks like it's too late for that.
Nothing like that. Besides, this is a hardly polite conversation.
Yeah, it's a little rude.
Oh, relax. I'm just trying to be cheeky to lighten the mood.
Oh, you're being
It's not like
cheeky,
I
alright.
want Luke dead. The man doesn't serve dodgy plonk like the others when I visit, and he pays his respects well enough. I could use a glass of wine or three, actually. Rochelle's been in a horrid mood. Threw her stilettos at me the other day and almost took an eye out. Not sure if this is how it usually goes, but I blame the pregnancy.
I wouldn't know, would I?
Still no plans for a baby? Well, I guess that's for the best. If it's this bad now, I can't even imagine how bad it'll be when that little baby bump becomes huge.
Wow! Have I mentioned how I don't trust him no matter how hard I try to do so? At least he brought a gift, I suppose.
Why don't you just go inside and have some wine, Lee?
Think I will, thanks.
What an ass, chat. What an ass. Greetings such as these carry on as the guests continue to trickle in. Crittler, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Whether we have short conversations or merely shake hands and nod heads, I make sure to attend and welcome each of them. Officer Lee is such a Chad, I think you mean? I mean, no. I said what I meant, chit. He's an ass. As the first hour passes us by, the rest of the stragglers and I adjourn to the ballroom. Any latecomers will have the attention of the porter instead. I have other duties to attend to. Still not found any gold? Oh, we didn't don't starve. Yeah, we ended up dying though. You have to make sure your guests are well fed, have good company, and have them generally enjoying themselves. So, when my opening remarks are done, when the band has started to play and the guests have started eating, I find myself wandering around aimlessly until I'm pulled aside. No, I didn't have time. Yeah, I literally, when I got done streaming last night, it was 11 p.m. here. So I haven't got to check it out yet. I have it literally written down, and I'm hoping to look into it tomorrow at some point. For a while, I stay with a small group and entertain them before excusing myself. And when they're not any more watching me, I must end up watching them. Jesus, these words, chat! And when they don't listen, I do. The local banker is having trouble with his daughter. He wishes to marry her off, but she wants nothing more than to make music. One of the hotel managers worry about the stolen belongings of one of his patrons, a failing in security which should have been brought up to a higher authority soon. Our mayor, well, his cat died. Then there's that rose-haired woman, once again. It's hard not to notice her with her distinctive locks, and she lacks the grace the other ladies have, though that does not make her any less beautiful. Her stance in the air she exudes instead are strong and make her stand out despite her casual attire. Many men have already given her their attention, though each invitation to dance has been turned down. I approach intrigued, although it is no great mystery what occupies her own attention, with the glances she keeps sending towards the boy with the oriental hair. She remains unaware, though, even though as I stand beside her, pretending that I am there for a drink.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Oh, you're fine, dearie. It's only really the parvenus, those who climb, that come to these parties all dolled up. Quite the black-haired beauty, isn't he?
The boy comes over, but I do nothing to speak any softer. He merely passes by, and is any wonder if he doesn't hear what I
Who,
say.
Ash?
You know, you really shouldn't have turned down those offers. If I wasn't married, I'd happily go dancing with those young men. But you said a name. Ash. That's the exquisite lad you've been looking at all this time. I don't know him, and I'm the one hosting this party. That must mean you know each other. Is he your boyfriend then? Because that would explain those rejections.
In all my life, I've never seen a face grow red so fast. The shade of her hair did not help as well. This is the most pink I've seen on a person, really.
What? No, that's ridiculous. He isn't my boyfriend.
Such a violent reaction. A simple no would have sufficed. Many here would be happy to hear it.
And I haven't been looking at him.
Uh-huh.
That's right. You've been staring. Quite heatedly, in fact. Although I'm not sure if you look like you want to kiss him or kill him.
Uh-huh.
It's more the latter currently.
Just don't go murdering him on my property. I don't want to walk into a room and suddenly find a body there.
Too real. I wavered as I fell to burning someone else's stairs. It's chilling, and though I'm used to enduring the gaze of others, this one makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Yeah? Don't tell me. Is it a ghost lady? Oh, hey, ghost lady. How you doing? You having a good time, ghost lady? You having a good party? You enjoying the party, ghost lady? I hope you're enjoying the party, ghost lady, because you just keep staring. It is chilling, though I'm used to enduring the gaze of others. This one... Okay, yeah, we already read this. My attention is pulled from the other girl as I see a woman staring. Dark-haired and dirty, she looks more like a beggar than a guest, and I have half the mind to call security to her. When her mouth breaks out into a grin. All I hear is laughing, taunting. Her stare makes my blood run cold. She looks at me like I'm nothing but a pig to slaughter for her amusement. Makes my hand shake and I nearly drop my drink. But then, in a blink of an eye, she's gone, and the buzz of the party returns.
I'll keep that in mind.
Had to remind us it's a horror game,
Are
chat.
you alright?
Uh-huh.
Yes, sorry. I just thought I saw something strange. It must be the trick of the light.